I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Benjamin Baker to our program. Dr. Baker is a historian who works in the Office of Archives and Statistics at the Adventist World Headquarters here in Silver Spring, Maryland. Dr. Baker, thank you for joining us. You have a fascinating story for us today of it's actually an exotic story going back to the days of Constantinople, etc. Please share it with our viewers.
Sure. Diran Chrakian was born in Armenia in 1870. As did many Armenians of his day, he immigrated to Constantinople, the capital of the Ottoman Empire and today's Istanbul. A lover of knowledge and seeker after truth, in his teenage years, Chrakian became a mystic, embracing atheistic humanism. He published several volumes of poetry that were bestsellers and obtained a professorship at the Armenian University of Constantinople. It was in the fall of 1914, while in his immense library smoking a cigar, that Chrakian was visited by a Greek Adventist literature evangelist named Nicholas Tephronides. For every book Tephronides handed to Chrakian, the professor pulled the same volume from his library shelf. He explained that earlier, a colleague at the university had given these religious books to him. Tephronides, in turn, asked Chrakian why he was smoking if he had read about the Adventist message. Embarrassed, Chrakian put out his cigar and never smoked again after that day. But the colporteur's visit piqued Diran's interest in the Adventist literature in his library, and he perused it over the next couple of days. The ideas he read in the pages were so compelling that he decided to attend an Adventist church service. And so on that Saturday, the 44-year-old philosopher entered the 12 by 20-foot room in a building where the Adventists were worshiping. The minister that day was a Swiss man named Emil Frottiger, who spoke in English while a tiny teenager named Diamondola translated. As Diran looked around the congregation, he felt a sense of awe. Here were Armenians, Greeks, Germans, Jews, and Turks, naturally bitter enemies, worshiping together like a loving family. But what impressed Diran most was the beauty and symmetry of the truth presented that morning. He returned week after week until he had fully accepted the Adventist message. When Diran became an Adventist, his family disowned him, and he was divested of his tenured position at the university. The years that followed were very difficult for Chrakian. In late 1914, he was drafted into the army just as Turkey entered World War I. There he was persecuted for his strange beliefs. No sooner was he discharged than he was imprisoned for spreading subversive teachings against the government. But in his many court hearings and weeks in jail, his fervent spirituality and eloquent witness won many to the faith. At the war's end in November 1918, Chrakian established a church in Constantinople. The next 3 years he labored for Adventism in areas where the Apostle Paul worked, winning dozens of souls throughout Asia Minor. Known as a man of exceptional spirituality, Chrakian often spent nights in prayer and was said to be surrounded by a holy atmosphere. Witnesses attest that on one occasion, he resurrected the missionary Diamondola from the dead. In early 1921, Chrakian was imprisoned and condemned for preaching a new religion and forming a new church. Sentenced to exile on what is known today as the Death March or the Armenian Genocide, Chrakian's last words were, "Love each other and have faith in God."
Thank you so much, Dr. Baker. What an amazing story. How did you discover this story?
Once again, reading the old periodicals, going through our boxes and in our vault, in our archive, and his story was so compelling because he gave up everything for the truth, and then he dove into the message and the truth 100%, and he was just this powerful person. who was winning souls everywhere and almost like the apostles of old, doing amazing exploits and miracles. And his life was just so dramatic, just that short time.
Yeah.
He was Adventist, and he had a powerful impact.
But he lost his family, he lost his wife,
Mm-hmm.
he lost his job,
Oh yeah.
he lost his prestige.
Oh yeah. He lost
but
everything.
But he found his Savior.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Dr. Baker.
Thank you for
Appreciate it
having
very
me.
much.
Yes.
Viewers at home, as we mentioned, Dr. Baker works for the Office of Archive Statistics and Research, and you can actually go to their website at adventistarchives.org, and you yourself can do a little bit of fishing around in some of the old periodicals and see what you might find of interest. Next up, we travel from Istanbul, Turkey, and we will go for a short break, but we'll be right back.